Hey, Gremlin Gear. Today I'm going to be giving a very basic entry-level starter's guide to where to put everything on your kit and discussing the philosophy behind the items that we want to put on a piece of gear for the first time and what I have experience with and what I believe the best solution is for going about this for the first time. Whether you're starting out with plate carrier, chest rig, some type of load-bearing vest or piece of equipment, the idea here is, let's say you just got a lot of pouches and your first plate carrier or chest rig and you don't know where to put everything. Maybe you're looking for some guidance, where to place a radio, where to place your water. What's the best or ideal position for all these things, because you just kind of want to get it right the first time or have something to start off with. Now, the great thing is with all of this is that there is no right answer. There are many ways to be extremely creative with how you place your gear and everything, but generally speaking, there is kind of a right way to approach placement of these items. Now, this is going to be for a normal-handed, right-handed shooter person. You're going to see that that affects some of the gear that is placed on this chest rig and a couple other of the chest rigs I'm going to show today. Now, I generally show a couple of the same chest rigs in my videos. You're going to see those. So if you're a returning viewer, thank you. Please go ahead and click the like button. And if this is your first time, go ahead and subscribe for more content like this. So like I said before, maybe you've never set up any piece of equipment or you're just looking for some guidance, maybe have some questions. In my very first video I ever put out, how to build out your gear for the first time, this is going to be bouncing off of some of the ideas in that, where we have basic equipment and we need to figure out the best place to put it. If you're going out and buying a piece of kit for the first time, it doesn't have to be a chest rig, maybe it's a plate carrier. But generally speaking, the first thing you're going to start out with is ammunition. And we're going to start out with ammunition and kind of build off of that, because pretty much the main goal of any piece of gear is the carry ammunition. If you got one to begin with, whether it's for airsoft or for shooting at the range, you're probably wanting to carry mag somehow. And the nice thing is, with the system I'm going to describe, we're going to start out with ammo and build outwards. So ammo is kind of the main component and everything else is just built around ammo. Starting out on this chest rig, I have double stacked mag pouches. These are some of my favorite things to start out with for pretty much any system. The main reason I do this is because, first of all, they're affordable. These are very cheap. These are USGI surplus double stacked mag pouches. I talk about them in all my videos. But the cool thing is, I have 4 up front. I have the capability of carrying 8 mags, whereas sometimes you'll see people only running 4 mags on a plate carrier. I have that capability out of just 2 of my mag pouches. I keep my mag pouches up front. I believe this is the optimal position to access and reach mags in just about any situation. And I favor the mags here on the left side because whenever I'm holding a rifle with my right hand, these are the easiest mags to access. I'm going to demonstrate in this video showing the chest rig as if like I'm wearing it and you're looking down at what I have on, instead of being flipped the other way and the camera facing me and you're kind of like, wait, which side is that on? I just hope that this way it's a little less confusing, and that way you can see what I see whenever I'm wearing this chest rig. For my fighting load, I will keep 6 mags in here. In this last 4th rifle mag pouch, generally I keep empty, and this is just my flexible rifle mag pouch, because with the versatility of these, I can decide if I need to carry 2 more mags for a total of 8. With just these 3 pouches loaded, I have 180 rounds of ammo. That's a lot of rounds as it is, but if I need to carry 2 more, I can plus that up. However, I can also use this to carry different types of equipment. If this is your only piece of equipment, let's say you have nothing on here besides these 4 rifle mag pouches, you can even place your handgun in one of these and hold it very securely. This is a Glock 19. If I decide I really want to plus up on pistol ammunition because I'm wearing this with a belt with my pistol on it, I can carry, for example, 3 chem lights in here and 2 30-round Glock mags. And other times I'll carry a combination of maybe a flashlight and a multi-tool in here with chem lights or some other combination. My point is, the reason that I carry my mags like this is because these pouches are the most accessible for me while I'm holding my rifle. And this last one is kind of like a bonus pouch. If I need to carry more mags in there, I can and will. I can still reach them. But if I want to carry some more tools or signaling equipment, this pouch is open and available, and it's kind of out of the way. So that is an example of how these pouches can be very flexible. I've seen people run mag pouches on the sides of their vests and their chest rigs and other configurations. However, generally speaking, if you're starting out, I would recommend carrying your mags up front. That's the thing that you need to access to the quickest in a gunfight, and is moreover the purpose of carrying a piece of equipment like this, is to get to your mags and to supplement your rifle quickly. Going on now to what I believe is probably the second most important thing to carry is your medical equipment. So where should you put your medical equipment? I would recommend 2 places to put your IFAK. And for me, I carry my IFAK and my tourniquets all in the same pouch. I just like to do that because tourniquets aren't taking up any extra space anywhere else on the chest rig. I know some people will carry them in different spots, and they try to carry them in places that are accessible by both hands, and that's perfectly fine. I just think what is the most simple thing for me is carrying it all in one position. And I also like to take this loadout and copy and paste it for other people to have access to. So for example, if I build out a couple of these for me and my friends or my family, I know exactly where everything is, and I know that their medical equipment is all in one spot and they don't have tourniquets all over the place. I will carry my medical equipment right here on the left side, because most of the time that can be transposed onto different pieces of equipment. This way it's the most out of the way, and it's in a position that's not accessed very frequently, and that's why I keep it over there, is because it is kind of a tough to reach spot if you're holding a rifle. However, if I'm hurt or if I'm helping someone that is hurt, chances are I have that rifle slung somewhere else and I'm able to get to this now easily. But inside of a canteen pouch, I will carry my IFAK and my 2 tourniquets. And I will also have other items sometimes supplementing that, or supplementing my water purification in this canteen pouch that is kind of out of the way, and this whole area is not really accessed that often because it's all the way across the body where I have to reach to it. I also want to make sure that on this wing, I like to keep this kind of cleared off because that's where my pistol draw is going to be if I ever do decide that I'm carrying a belt. So this is a bulky pouch. I can still get around it with my pistol. It takes some training, some dry firing, but I like to push it a little bit out of the way and not have equipment that I'm going to access very frequently in here. And if you want to carry your medical equipment somewhere else because maybe you're out of real estate here on the front like some chest rigs, I will sometimes move to a dangler pouch and carry medical equipment down where my abdomen is. That way you can access it from both sides. The only drawback to those pouches is that typically they are restricted in their size and they might not hold 2 tourniquets and a big IFAK. But that is also a really good way to carry your medical equipment, because medical equipment is probably the hardest thing to carry because it's just so big. It works down here in the abdomen position, usually typically well. Now moving over here to the left side, this is where I like to keep my canteen pouch or my GP pouch, my general purpose pouch, for either admin equipment, obviously my water bottle, or any other items. For example, in here, I have a variety of small items that I stuff into these canteen pouch side pockets that I might need to get to quickly while I'm still holding a rifle in my right hand. So lens cloths, signaling equipment, and any other items that are going to keep me comfortable or assist my gear, I like to keep over here. All the way over here on the left side, under kind of like my armpit and my arm, it kind of sits right here in my armpit. This is not my original idea. I got this from a Spirit of Systems video, but this is where Adam from Spirit of Systems recommends keeping night vision. So in here, this is a USGI IFAK pouch. So all these pouches are very cheap. This is a UCP camouflage that I've dyed and then spray painted, but I actually have one of the USGI Canteen PVS 14 inserts in this pouch to use as my padded night vision insert. Those are also extremely cheap. I keep my lens pen in this pouch, so it goes with any optical device that I keep in here, but you can see it carries a PVS 14 pretty simply. The really cool thing about these USGI medical pouches is that they're pretty much the same design as these Gucci night vision pouches that Spirit of Systems or TRX Arms or Ferro Concepts are trying to sell you. They're about $12. And all you need to do is add a piece of foam that you get out of like a shipping box for something. This one I've cut into a square that roughly fits the size of the pouch itself. And here's a set of binoculars, which I'm sure is about the size of a set of binocular night vision goggles. And what you can do is simply put this piece of foam in here facing the outside to protect it from any bumps. And then put your binos in here. You could also do this with any other optics that you choose to carry. But this pouch is nice. It has a piece of Velcro, hook here, loop, so it can seal. And that way if the buckle's ever broken, this pouch won't necessarily just flip up on its own. That's why I like using these for night vision and optics. Besides the canteen pouches, they don't have any, they have a lip like this that you can flip up, but no Velcro to keep it shut in case it is unbuckled or I just want to quickly kind of shut it. And there you go. It's a cool, cheap way to carry optics safely in a pouch. And just the one quick tip for my rangefinder, I use these tiny Nikon rangefinders that fit perfectly in a grenade pouch, a USGI grenade pouch. So this is the only piece of gear I really keep my rangefinder in this position because of the MOLLE on the shoulder straps. And also note this is on my left shoulder, whereas I'm shooting with my right shoulder. So I carry my push talk over here on my right shoulder, and I will also have my radio stuffed in here in this left wing position. So if I'm wearing the piece of kit, it's starting to look like this. And for any piece of equipment, whether it's a plate carrier or some other different type of chest rig, if you're a right-handed person, something to note is that I keep the radio and the push talk all on my left side. It's easier to manage my cable in here. I'm not shouldering my rifle on this side for any reason. And I have easy access to my radio, which is really important to make sure that you have on a piece of equipment. But this is kind of the skeletal structure. I have medical, mags, radio on my left side, canteen on my left side, optics on my left side. The only other things that I'm missing is that I like to clip gloves to the outside. I don't like to put them in any pouches and take up any extra space. This way I can easily take them off. I use a very simple carabiner that you can't even see. It's like a black carabiner. I don't use those plastic ones that are like military clips that sometimes you see people use. I don't really get those. I just like to use a basic carabiner that fits into the loop of some gloves. So here's another piece of equipment that works in the very same fashion, although I don't have all of my mags and stuff transposed onto here. You get the idea. It's pretty much the same. Medical pouch right here has another just normal canteen pouch. I have my canteen / my GP pouch. And then I have my optics and night vision pouch right here. This is a tap panel. The real estate with MOLLE webbing is, I believe, 1 row more than the tap panel on the front side. And the reason I have this piece of equipment is that it's set up for more reconnaissance or kind of like overlanding. If I need to carry like optics and GPS, this pouch carries a lot of that stuff. It can carry some like really weird sized items in here because it's big. I also like to keep a GPS in a pouch if I need to conceal it or something. This pouch will do a good job of that. It keeps it out in front. I can leave this pouch unzipped, pull things in and out. And that way I'm prioritizing items that I'm going to be pulling in and out. Because over here, this can be kind of a pain to keep pulling an observation device in and out. And this way, my mags are flush against my body. I can still carry 6 of them up front comfortably. And then I can prioritize an optic or something like this right out in front of me. So this is a piece of equipment. The tap panel can be prioritized for a slightly different mission set than something like an FLC. And just over here on this side, like I said, kind of keep this cleared up for pistol action. However, probably never going to be running a pistol with a piece of equipment like this. For this mission, I wouldn't necessarily run one, but you could add, you know, a canteen pouch or something over here to supplement your equipment. I do have 3 rows of MOLLE webbing that are available to me still. I do want to add the tap panel is a lot better for carrying notebooks, maps, and like wide, flat paper items because of these internal mesh pockets. Specifically, this center one is huge. I have actually been able to carry like a small like Android tablet in here before, which is pretty sweet. It might even be able to hold plates, I don't know. But maps and such fit great in here. I've got all sorts of stuff jammed in here, like chem lights, hand warmers, and stuff. For the FLC, these interior pockets don't hold things as securely, and they're just simply not as big because they are split for this split rig type of system. Now, this piece of equipment is something that is going to be a bit more familiar to everyone. This is a chest rig made by a popular manufacturer, T-Rex Arms. And this is normally what you get whenever you out of the gate buy a brand new chest rig and the real estate that you get up front. Same concept with the 4 double stack rifle mag pouches. Right now I'm kind of using this as my 308 AR-10 loadout, but that doesn't really matter. Just know that these pouches are wide enough to fit these mags. I feel like these ones do a little bit better job than the double stacked ones for 5.56, but that's besides the point. What's going on here is I still have room for all of my things minus a couple that I might need to scale down for. I'll also use this chest rig for kind of an immediate loadout and almost kind of like a placard. I know people don't really think of placards being this big, but I still run this over armor with the H harness and everything, but I still think for what this is a pretty small rig, and the truth is it fits perfectly on your body. It's still very comfortable even though it is a chest rig. This is a GP pouch. However, this can still hold my important optic items with a foam insert, such as my PVS 14. So this can either be used as a night vision pouch if I need it, or I can scale it down for other items. This can hold slightly longer paper items, but this is a GP pouch for all intensive purposes. And actually, for this chest rig, I typically won't really be running a canteen. I might have my water supplied from my back, but normally I will use this as a medical pouch. I will put my IFAK and my tourniquets in here. So I don't have water. That's something that I've taken out of this rig, and I might move it to my backpack because this is more of a direct action sort of loadout. So I don't necessarily need water to sustain myself because that isn't really a part of the plan. However, if I did want to run water, I can move my medical or my other weird items down here to this dangler pouch. And this is a wallaby pouch, so it's kind of like a big dump pouch that rides on your abdomen, and I can stuff lots of items in here. I will still run my radio on my left wing and my push-a-talk on my left shoulder strap. And that way, this piece of equipment can transpose all of my other gear to it, and it remain the same functionally. Different camouflage pattern, different pouches, kind of, but essentially it is the same functionally, and it is slightly smaller. It's kind of funny. This is the most expensive chest rig I believe that I have, and its functionality is the smallest. This can't sustain me as much as something like an FLC or even a tap panel. And I just want you to understand this. Because you're spending a lot of money on gear doesn't mean that you're actually going to amplify your capability much, or even the function of any of these items. I've gone through a lot of radio pouches and medical pouches and gone through stuff that just really doesn't work. Most radio pouches, for example, are oversized for military police style radios, and they don't work for civilian applications. So it makes things a little bit harder, and that's why I push surplus a lot, is because you can typically make it work for what you need it to do. And I just want you to also understand, all because you buy a cool nylon product from a decent manufacturer doesn't mean that it's going to give you all the functionality that you need. You might need to do some modifications or find some old pouches that do exactly what you need to do or have some flexibility in that. But ultimately, I just wanted to make this guide for people who are trying to figure out what to do for the first time and want an idea, a backbone, a skeleton of where to structure, how to structure your equipment, and where to place everything. Because you kind of should have an idea of what side to have your equipment on, and it should be consistent with your other pieces of equipment if you have any. I believe this is the most effective for me, and this is, as you've seen, how I structure my 3 chest rigs that I interoperate through. So please like, subscribe, comment if you learned anything, and if you have any other questions. But thanks for watching.